On a cold February night in 2004, a young woman vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that still haunts the corners of New Hampshire. Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student, disappeared after a seemingly benign car crash. But the circumstances surrounding her disappearance raise more questions than answers. What exactly happened that night? And why has this case captivated the public for nearly 2 decades? To understand the disappearance of Maura Murray, one must first look into her life before that fateful night. Maura was a straight-A student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, known for her dedication and ambition. Friends described her as charismatic, yet introverted, a young woman who carried herself with grace, but also seemed to grapple with the pressures of impending adulthood. But like many young adults, she had her struggles, battling anxiety and facing the challenges of a demanding academic life. On the afternoon of February 9, 2004, Maura sent a series of emails to her professors and work supervisor, stating that she would be taking a week off due to a death in the family. The shocking twist came when her family later confirmed that no such death had occurred. What was Maura hiding? And why did she feel the need to invent such a story? These questions lingered in the air as she packed her belongings, filled her car with gas, and drove north to the unknown. Around 7:27 p.m. that evening, a local resident spotted Maura's car off the road near Woodsville, New Hampshire, and reported it to the authorities. The scene was alarming. Her vehicle was crumpled against a snowbank, but remarkably, there were no other vehicles involved. A passing motorist stopped to check on her, but Maura declined assistance, insisting that she had already called for help. When police arrived at 7:46 p.m., they found the car abandoned, with no sign of Maura. What happened in those crucial moments before she vanished? The search for Maura began immediately, enveloping the area in a cloud of confusion and urgency, with police, search dogs, and volunteers combing through the forested terrain. Hope mixed with dread. Was she lost, injured, or had she fled into the night for reasons known only to her? The initial theories began to circulate, and speculation ran rampant. Some suggested that she might have been a victim of foul play, while others wondered if she had simply wanted to disappear. As the days turned into weeks, the search intensified, but yielded no trace of the young woman. Investigators scrutinized every detail of Maura's life, piecing together fragments of her past. They discovered that she had sent texts to friends earlier that day, discussing plans for the future. Yet her actions that evening painted a different picture, one filled with ambiguity and the potential for desperation. One line of inquiry focused on Maura's past struggles. Friends revealed that she had been dealing with stress and anxiety, and had even been involved in a few minor car accidents prior to the night she disappeared. Was this crash simply another accident? Or was it part of a larger narrative of panic and fear that had been building inside her? The complexity of her situation began to unfold, but the more they dug, the less clear things became. The New Hampshire State Police sought the public's help, releasing information about Maura's disappearance to local media outlets. They described her clothing, her vehicle, and urged anyone with information to come forward. What happened next would shock the world. A story that would not only capture the attention of local communities, but eventually ignite national interest. The case drew attention from amateur sleuths,
internet forums, and even true crime enthusiasts, turning into a phenomenon. As theories and speculations flourished online, a community formed around the mystery of Maura Murray, with countless individuals trying to piece together the puzzle of her disappearance. Some discussed her mental state, while others analyzed the possibility of a planned departure. But what evidence could provide clarity amidst the chaos? Months passed, and despite efforts by authorities and volunteers, the search eventually slowed. But when hope dimmed, new leads emerged. Some credible, others purely speculative. Reports of sightings poured in from across the country, each one igniting a flicker of hope for her family and friends. Yet, the leads would ultimately lead to nowhere. Could Maura still be alive? Or had the unforgiving wilderness claimed her? The cold case took a dark turn when a few years later, a new theory emerged. Some investigators began to consider the possibility of voluntary disappearance. Was Maura's crash, in fact, a calculated decision? Was she attempting to escape the overwhelming pressures of life? This suggestion raised even more questions. Could a person truly vanish without a trace? And if so, what would drive someone to make such a drastic choice? The theories continued to swirl, yet the truth remained elusive. In 2017, a television documentary brought Maura's story back into the limelight, reigniting interest and bringing in new witnesses who had not previously come forward. The renewed attention stirred up a mix of hope and frustration for her family, who had long been fighting for answers. Despite the passage of time, Maura's family has remained steadfast, refusing to give up hope. They have fought tirelessly to keep her memory alive, organizing searches and spreading awareness about her case. Each passing year without resolution has only intensified their resolve. But what toll has this taken on them? And what legacy does a missing person leave behind? As technology advances and the methods of investigation evolve, the hope remains that one day someone might come forward with the information that could unlock the mystery. What drives a person to vanish into thin air only to leave their loved ones behind?
The psychological burden of a missing person case is immense, not just for the victim's family, but for all those touched by the mystery. As we reflect on the story of Maura Murray, questions linger in the shadows. Why did she drive north that night? What haunted her mind? Was she seeking solace, or was she truly in danger? The unanswered questions continue to haunt not only her family, but also the community at large, reminding us of the fragility of life and the unknowns that exist within each of us. Nearly 2 decades later, the mystery surrounding Maura Murray remains unresolved, a stark reminder that some stories do not have neat endings. In an age where information is at our fingertips, the case of Maura Murray teaches us that some secrets remain hidden, urging us to continue searching for the truth, even when it seems out of reach. As new generations learn about her story, they become part of a collective quest to bring answers to a family still yearning for closure.